Mm, Hi Suraj, thank you for watching. So you are the first one who came on time, so I really appreciate. Hi Prabhat. Okay, so um, thank you for watching. So you are the second one who has joined this live chat session with me, and I'm actually looking forward to more people come and join so that we can do the justice with the session. Hope my voice is properly audible. If yes, if you can write just yes, so they can, uh, you know, check on the kind of the system if it is working fine. Prabhat, I guess you can hear my voice. It's properly audible, right? If yes, can you please just text me so that it really helps me to be with the setup so that I'm audible to many. Hi Purna. Um, Thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm doing fine. How about you? So now I can see a lot of people are joining in. Thank you. It's really been kind of an honor for me to come and join here, and I hope my this chat session will be productive for you and some sort of learning. And thank you. I really appreciate and thank Prabhat for inviting me. And this is something I'm doing with the close group. So I have done sessions generally with my people. Uh, so I'm really looking forward to it. Let me start. Let me give you an idea of my into this picture. So as you know, yeah. Hi Suraj. Hello. Thank you. Yeah, you can call me Tanveer. I'm not that too old to. It's okay. That's an honor for that you calling me sir. But it's just a kind of. I really see you guys as one of a passionate people who really looking forward to bring a change in the society and. I have seen the change happening. So I'm blessed to have people like you in my connect and looking forward to explore more so that together we can make a whole lot of difference in the society. Today, as the topic was for the with the social entrepreneur. Yes, to give you sense about how I am associated, my background. So I did my MBA, and I was very much clueless before when I joined. So I worked with Devyani International Limited as the CRM. Then I was associated with many of the event companies earlier, and was doing a freelancing over there. Then all of a sudden, I had a plan to do something different to the society. Something when you come back home, you come with a lot of happiness, the joy. So that was the hit moment of a time when I was engaged with the few event companies, and so I got an opportunity to volunteer for I Volunteer, though that was there in my blood, because my parents always encouraged me to do something. And each Saturday when my sister used to go to the villages to do volunteering under Loreto convent, I was the one who used to go and pick her up, because I was very curious to do something good for the people who really need the most. And I don't believe in just giving, but I believe in giving time and skills. Yeah, thank you, Prabhat. It's an honor. It's my pleasure to be here in this group, and I can see a lot of influencer and a lot of change maker here. So I was like talking about myself, how I started, my career into the social. So it was a hard task for me to come from a background to a social setup. So 2009 was a turning point for me, where I, as a volunteer, took up an assignment where I was like closely working with the rug pickers, and that one project was a hit of my life. I realized that our society need us. So and that was the time when I started coming to the background and working and looking for the cause. So and then after completing my assignment and a project, then I was invited by I Volunteer to do some sort of program, and then it really encourages you when you're doing volunteering, and somebody asks you to be in the team, so that to bring a lot of difference. And my job was related to inspire people to volunteer. That was like very inspiring. So I'm just talking about 2010 when I joined this organization. I volunteer as RM. Yeah, thank you, Digital Hashtag, for hosting this live chat session. And yeah, definitely, it's great to see all of you here. And I cannot see you, but I can see that you are watching me. Okay, now coming back to the social entrepreneur, I see it as kind of a two pointers. It really influence you. It is something you really wanted to do, and it's a kind of a novel application which people really want to do for the society. Now it's a trend in the society. People really wanted to contribute their time and skill. Earlier, the scenario was more of where people used to go to the blood donation camp and do bloods. It's always to go and do it, but at the same time, your skills matters a lot, because you never know that one bringing a change to one life can actually make a difference to the society. So that is one, and I always see this as kind of something which is very potential, and not only bring a change to the society, but also enhance and see and look for the kind of the problems. When you see some social entrepreneur working for a change in the society, you see them going and identifying and finding the kind of the needs, the problems people are facing. And that is where you're not a kind of a cup of tea of corporate, where you just 9 to 5 or 9 to 8 or 9 to 9 or 9 to 10. Here you have no time boundaries. You can do whatever you want to do and whatever the extent you want to do. And this is something you really devote your life, you really devote your time, you really feel that the society is yours, and you have to do it something for them. So this is what I see. So if you see me, the time I started I Volunteer, and now I founded Speak the Cause. Why? Because I really feel that working Monday to Friday with an I Volunteer, which actually a great opportunity for me. But I don't want to invest my time in something where there's no productive things happening. So if I say people do come and volunteer, if I don't volunteer my time, if I don't volunteer my skills, then I'm not the right person to go and ask people to volunteer, correct? So this is how I always devote my Saturdays. So if you look at my Saturdays, mostly at least 8 to 9 hours, I try to devote my time, and this is where I founded, Speak the Cause. So Speak the Cause is a kind of a wholesome idea where, see, I'm connected to this, all the social network together, and I really feel that people really want to contribute, but they don't know how, where, when. So my campaign idea talks about to leverage the people to the right opportunity, to the right time they can contribute. So I taken, my actually the beneficiaries or the target audience are the rack pickers, because I started my career into the social segment before coming here was with the rack pickers. So I have some soft corner for them. I'm not saying that they're poor. I'm not here to give them the food, but I'm here to make them in such a way so that they can earn their own food. See, I'm no one to give a food to somebody. See, I'm not a food banker, correct? But if I can go and train people, if I can, go and inspire them, if I can help them in the livelihood programs, so maybe I can give a food for 1 day, 2 day, a week. But if I train them, if I give my time and skills, then probably it's a idea or a wholesome idea for a long years where they can go and earn their own food. And you can see that a lot of, because they need your trust, they need your happiness. And my campaign idea is all about to connect people, and so that they come together and feel. And it's all about, when we say that, we are a part of a city, we are a part of a, this India, and we are proud of it, we should be proud of each other, correct? Now coming back to the kind of, who choose this as a kind of a career towards, and why people want to come to the social entrepreneur, I feel there is a lot of kind of a creative and a forward thinking process involved, because here you're free to think and you're free to implement, and you can see a drastic change, the impact what you have given to the society. And that is where people really want to come forward to the, social entrepreneur, to want to be a social entrepreneur, so that it not only help you to be as one of a leader. Nobody wants to be a boss, correct? Because we don't like bosses, we like leaders. So that is where. So now before I jump into, and please help me out with some of the things, some of the questions if you really want to ask it. I'll just go through whatever the, inputs I have in my life, the kind of the challenges, the kind of the contributing toward the, society, because it's very innovative, it's very finding, and we can only find it when we do something very practical. So my takeaway would be from people here, let's say if you really want to do, so what I follow as a kind of a step, hi Sujit, thank you for watching. I see for I follow 7 steps. The first is, before you jump, before you think to do something, you should always have a kind of a mission in your mind, why you want to do it. That why question actually hits your life. Why? And why they need you. It's not always you need them, why they will need you. So you have to write and you have to do the justice with the kind of the mission statement. The first is work on your mission statement. Say, as we know that where mostly we are asked by our parents, our friends, where do you want to see yourself in next 5 years? That is where we we stand, and we design our mission. The first is you have to go and define your mission, what change you really want to bring in. See, alone you cannot do multiple things, but at least you can do one thing. That one identified mission can actually help you. The second, which I believe in, on the kind of, little bit of research. Say, when I talk about the kind of the leadership qualities, and talking about my campaign, my cause, my stakeholders are the rack pickers. So my first takeaway or my first step could be to know about them, how they live, what are the practical problems they're facing, how together we can go and solve the problems, correct? And so the research work is more like kind of where you put in your shoes and you go and identify the problems of the people. It's not always they identify, but you also tell them that it's see, for a living, what we need the basic things. Say, suppose if you're thirsty, if you're going somewhere, what do you need a water, you need a juice. So sometimes water can actually help you. So you need to give them the people, like, with whatever you have, you should be very happy. So that mentorship guidance is very much needed in all of the aspect of the life. So the first is which I follow is I identified my mission correctly. The second is you need to do kind of a good research, because until you don't know the target audience, you won't be able to help them. So to do a good research, you also need to conceptualize your idea. See how. So when you say that I really want to feed a uh, say 10 10 boys or a 10 girls or 100 boys or 100 girls or a 10,000 boys, correct, or a 10,000 people. See how you want to feed them. Are you going to tie up with the food bank? Are you going to start your own kitchen to feed them? Who are going to fund you for this? So you need to be very practical when I'm saying that, making concepts and you're conceptualizing what you're thinking. It's very important. You need to graph your days. Like say in the next 5 years or in the next 5 months or the next 5 days, what should be your role, what should be your responsibility. Say it is as simple as when actually travel your plans. Say suppose you're actually planning to go to a hill station or some other city. What you do, you go and check, you go and you do a kind of a research where you're going to go and stay. Like you go to the OU rooms, you search. Like you go to the you search for the flight tickets, you search for the train tickets, which is more convenient. You've identified dates. It's more like that planning. So planning is very much important. It's important to in every aspect of your life. So the first is you need to identify the kind of the mission, write it properly, define it properly. The second is I always ask people to do a kind of a good research. So doing research is like you have to contribute your good time to the community where you really want to bring a change. The second is which I said, right, it's like you have to make that concept strong. Until you don't make that concept strong, you won't be able to bring a change. And the fourth aspect which I follow, it's to connect with the people. So the moment you connect with the people, the moment you are strong, you have a strong relationship with the people. It's not always with the money. It's always, exchanging your skills, exchanging your times. This is so Sanjana, hello. Thank you for coming here and commenting. I'm very happy to see all of you here. So we're talking about the kind of the 7 steps which I do follow. The first is identifying. Again, I'm just recalling because many of people have recently have joined in. So the first is, you need to define your mission. The second is to do a kind of a good research in your field. The third is to make a concept or a kind of a model where what you want to achieve by doing this. The fourth is you have to reach out to, the kind of the members and, the team you really want to build up. See, for having a good, you know, uh, you know, um, to work for a good people, right? You need to have a good people around you. Say uh, say you're planning to do a kind of a Facebook live, or say you're planning to do a kind of a good event. Whom you need somebody who can help you with the photograph. Say example, uh, you currently need an digital or a kind of a say mm, newsletters, correct? So for newsletter, whom you reach, you'll definitely segregate the kind of or bifurcate the kind of the assignment. You need somebody who can actually help you to design with. And who will design it? The graphic designer. So you need somebody who can go and do the photography. Who will do the photography? The photographers. Then you need somebody who can write the good content. See, a photographer maybe sometime can be a good content writer, but a content writer does not necessarily that they have to be good for it. So we have to do a good matching with the team. So when we say we have come up as a social entrepreneur, we coming up to set up an NGO or a trust, or work for an organization, or build a kind of a company firm to help the social segment, then we need to come up with a team. So team identification is more important. So similarly, as I said, like you have to concept and you have to develop that concept into a model. Say how long you will be contributing. What is the aim for the next 2 years? What is the aim for the next 2 months? And in this aim of 2 months, what is your role in this one? So clearly defining your roles and responsibility also help you to grow in your personals and professionals. Now, the major which I do hear from the people is like fund. You need a fund. Say as a social entrepreneur, if you really want to start up a campaign or an organization or a trust or XYZ, whatever you feel like, the fund is one of the major factors. So that is where I say now, if you are in social media, I think it's one of the best platform to go and reach out to people. See here what we do, say suppose if you have an organization page, you may find there are like 20,000 people who have liked that page. But are we really connected with that 20,000? No. So it's only that like. So we have to, transform or, make it into a different step, like from a like to a comment, from a comment to a conversation. So conversation is very important. Until you go and talk about your cause, until you feel about your cause, until you feel about your concept, nobody is going to feel about this. So a conversation is very important. So, and I think you're here to define the people's life. You are here to come and not solve people's life, but also to solve your ideas and implement it better. So it's always important to connect with the people and start with a conversation. The next thing which I follow, it's your action plan. Your action plan should actually see, if you really want to, have a newsletter, as I said, correct. For whom you really need a newsletter, why you need a newsletter, and whom you really want to reach out to by newsletter. Say who is the potential target audience. So it's in every aspect of life we need. Okay, so Prabhat saying in starting of any of the startups NGO, how to get funds. Okay, that's very interesting questions, and it's one of the major questions which people do ask. See, the first is, as I said, you need to connect with the cause, correct? Once you connect with the cause, there are certain document or the timelines you have to follow as an organization. Say after you registered under the Society Act, correct? Then probably see one of the source of getting fund is from the foreign, which is the FCRA. So I'm not saying it's you cannot, but I'm saying that it will take a time, because first you need to be that strong enough to put forward your project. The second is, you need to have all the documents starting from 12A to 80G. To why you need this order, because that really helps you to be make people transparent about your organization. So once you're transparent about your people, about your NGO, about your cause you're supporting, then I think it's not that difficult to get a fund. So there are sources like global giving. There are sources like social networks where a lot of people do crowdfunding. Say I said crowdfunding is okay for a small projects, but if you're really aiming for a big project, then probably you may go and pitch into the corporates. And again, at times we have seen that people are going with going to the corporates and pitching. So the presentation which they carry, it's not about them, it's about some other people. So you need to go and it's not about selling, it's all about inspiring. You have to inspire, your people. You have to really inspire whom you're going to meet them. And there are ways to get, as I said, like Prabhat, there are scopes. So if you go and go to the global giving, so once you have all the documents of an NGO, you can register your organization there, you can put up your projects there. There are a lot of social networks as similar to the global giving. So sometimes I've seen that my camp, if I really talk about my campaign which I'm running, correct, I have seen that I don't have to struggle for the money, because here people are connected so well. People know the transparency of your work. When people know about your transparency, when you really go out to the public and talk to the audience about your aim, what you really want to try and achieve it. Say at times we have seen that NGOs say that we are working on the kind of the child welfare. It's a vast levels. Or when the organization is saying education, in education, what you are doing, are you dealing with the kids, are you dealing with the youths, or are you really doing? So what you're giving, you may be giving a primary education, you're giving a secondary education, or you're giving a higher education to them. Why you want to give them higher education? What is the benefit? How many people are benefit out of it? So you need to do a lot of good planning, lot of crisp planning, and you need to have somebody who can write a good story, because stories help you to get a fund from your organization. So now I was actually talking about you, that as I said that you need to have an action plan. As I mentioned about the kind of the global giving, the social venture circle, you can go and explore, where you can also go and find registered your organizations. So there is a lot of portals where you can go and do the crowdfunding. So there is a small change started by Sara Adhikari. She helps a lot of NGOs and do a lot of crowdfunding, and people are happily donating. Why people want to donate? Because they really want that transparency. Nowadays we there are people who are not that transparent. So we need to again come up with a transparency that this is what I'm doing, and this money will actually help these people to come and grow. And more than money, you need to first invite the people to come and see the story of change, and inspire people to come and contribute their time and skills. Because the people, if you invite me as a voice, say suppose if you are an NGO, the instant moment if you ask me that I'm looking for a fund, can you be a funder for me, I would say okay, 50-50. But if you really invite me to come and see their stories, I might connect, I might give my time, I might give my skills. The moment I'm giving my time and skills, it's obvious that whenever it's necessary, I will try and fund it. Okay. So as I'm saying that we need to come across, we need to go to the second level, from the like to the comment to the conversation. We need to have that conversation. We need to have that conversation. The conversation is very important. Now, as I said, like for an organization, 12A, these ATG is very important. To get the foreign funds, FCR is very important. I'm not saying that it is hard to crack or to get it, but you need to follow all the documentations as per the guideline. Correct. So recently under my campaign, we have done a lot of events. If you really see, a lot of people really want to contribute. Say suppose if you're an NGO and you're looking for a photographers, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of ventures who really want to not to give money to the photographer, but really want to come as a photographer and do a good photography. Correct. So you have to invite people, you have to bring that transparency of the people, invite them for a kind of host a monthly get together, and talk about your cause. Talk very basic about your cause, like in, say, as I said, like education. If you are really want to do something on the education or any XYZ cause, you need to be very transparent in education what you're doing. Acha, so Prabhat, but it takes 2-3 years for a 12 and 80G. What is the difference? Okay, so yes, it takes 2 to 3 years to get 12 and 80G, and at FCRA also. But again, as I said now, you have to start with a small project. Correct. And you have to work on it. And I'm sure like when you coming, so you make a group in such a way, or you make a team in such a way, there are people who can contribute in whatever the manner, and try to get the projects which are zero to budget. Say whatever I do under my campaign, these are zero to budgets. Like recently in 16 February, I'm coming up with a concept which is very unique in Calcutta, which is a fashion show by rag pickers. So the rag pickers are going to work for it, and I'm going to invite all the social faces, all the pastry people, all the delegates, all the eminent personalities of Calcutta to come and see, to come and listen to their stories. The moment they listen to the stories, now we're focusing mainly on the kind of the educations. So what we're saying that we will connect you. So there are a lot of government schools, correct? Which what we did, we went, we had a kind of a survey, we identified the student, and we connect them to the school. So government schools, you hardly need a money, correct? So, but if you go to the private school, you have to spend a lot of money. So it's all about, you have to make your team in such a way. Acha, okay. So I get another question from Purna, which what is the difference between a social entrepreneur and a business? See, a social and a business. Social, here is there is a scope. When you're in an organization, definitely you need to set up a team, and there is always a management fee because you're working. End of the day, in whatever the projects you will be designing, correct, and you will be sending to the people, there is always a need to add a kind of a management fee. Because see, end of the day, when you actually say that I'm going to give that XYZ money to for the education of XYZ, and at the same time you need a teacher to teach them, you need somebody to go and identify them. So there is a lot of management work involved. So in each of the project, management fee is very important. This is your office expenses, which comes in office expenses, because you need to hire an accountant, you need to hire a manager who can take care of your operations, you need to hire somebody who can manage your documentations or go to the field and work on it. At the same time, they need money. There are organizations who have employees. How do they get the money? In each of the projects, uh, there is like 10 to 15%, and mostly the max is the 20%, which people keep as one of the management fee. The 80% goes into the transparency, because you need to monitor. Because if there is no people to monitor the project, why people will give out money? So you have to pitch in such a way it's very transparent. See, out of 100 rupees, you're going to spend that 80 rupees into the development or XYZ, and the 20% goes to the kind of the management. Correct. This is, and the difference between the business entrepreneur, business is basically focusing on the profit. Your non-profit is like not into the profit making, but at some parts, say suppose if you are an organization and you're making some products, so you are making small profit out of it. This profit will go to the organization again. Correct. So there's a difference between a profit and a non-profit. And end of the day, when I said like you will be working as one of the director and you will be hiring people, so this is how from the management fee, the management cost, you have to give them the salary and XYZ, and the office expenses, the papers, pen and XYZ. So this is how you come across. Okay, now the second question is from Sanjana Singh. Sir, I want to ask that how is social entrepreneur different from an activism? See, activism is something, you are there. You are only fighting for the rights of the people, correct? And here, as a social entrepreneur, you have taken certain step, certain community to come and work with, correct? Here, activism is like you can stand for anyone, but in a social entrepreneur you are taking one slot of people, one adopted cause to go for it, and this is how you come across with. uh, um, so the second question is again from Purna. What are the main financial constant? Here I think the major and the minor what we can look at is the project designing or project implementing is very much important. When you say that you design your project, the project should be very transparent. The project should have an impact value. Say if your project says that you're going to teach 50 students, by 5 years, what impact you really want to see in their lives? How are you going to measure that impact? That is more important. So the financial constants come because when people don't know you, then when people don't really relate to your cause, so sometimes we have seen that in the website you find something different, but when you go to the community there's something different. So you need to have a very strong hold in the community or to the people you're working with. And financial constraint is always you have to develop or design a project in such a way so that it's smooth. And see, when people do come to an organization and work there, not everyone look for the money. Maybe they need money, they really want to do the pro bono services, but at the same time it's very essential that you give them the honorarium. So people are not you looking for a money or a salary which is very huge, correct? So the financial constants again stands with where you hardly have a connect with the people, or you hardly know in corporate. Say suppose you went to a corporate who supports a women empowerment, but your project talks about the child welfare. How are you going to connect with that corporate? So you have to come, you have to do a lot of good research. And like the time I started, yeah, it was there a kind of a lot of challenges for me to go along with this. But initially I'll tell you, like, if you really passionate about doing something, you have to go and talk to the people, say, before you start something. uh, right. So kindly explain how do social entrepreneurs evaluate the impact. um, See, the first thing which you need to have is to develop a good sense of humor, which I follow. You have to be very practical. Say, apart from the social entrepreneur, I'm just giving one example. Uh, you going as a volunteer, correct? And you volunteer for an organization. You said that I will go and teach 5 kids English every Saturday, correct? And you were there for say long 1 year. How you going to measure that? So to measure that, you need to do a planning in sense like, say, in each Saturday what you're going to teach them in 1 month, how you are actually taking that. Are the children are good enough to take your words? Are you taking some examinations and all? Here in each of the segments or the project, the kind of the evaluation process varies, correct? So you have to follow certain guidelines, rules, set up your values in such a way so that you can see it. So as I, in my campaign, when I'm saying that I'm working for the rack pickers, so my first initial target was not to invite. So if you really at the rack pickers family in Calcutta, there are 40,000 families who are in a rack pickers family in Calcutta, but alone I cannot support 40,000 families. So what I did, I adopted 200 families. Now I know bit about the 200 families. Male member, the female member, what is the source of income, how many childs they have, who are going to the school, what they're doing. So a lot of good research which actually help you design. So you have to do a kind of a good matching with your project, and the kind of scoping out with the need of the society. The need is more important. Second is you have to brand yourself. See, you must have seen like good organization has a lot of brand value. So you have to brand your organization in such a way, so that, and evaluation process is something you need to measure on the ground. Say, say, given sort of money to somebody has actually helped them to grow in their lives or not. Correct. So recently we were supporting through some of the global giving projects. So many of the families were benefited by small amount as a loan. Correct, because they really want to start up something on their own, be it to selling vegetables, starting up a small sleeper making processes, something like that. um, this is how. So what we did first, initially we have seen that whether they are qualified enough to go forward to take up this business, and why we give the money, and what is the ultimate solution. Like, they will give back to us. See, we are not here to give everything. That is one of the mindset we need to change from our concept. See, not always we are going to give somebody or give something to the people. We have to clear that mindset from the people. It's all about giving and taking and giving, taking and giving. If I'm giving, I might take something from the people. If people are taking something, they have to give something to us. The commitment, the promise to be with them, the promise to be the honest. The honesty is one thing where you stand. Correct. This is how. Second, I was like actually going. I can see that. Okay, what is the scope for the students like me in this? So, as I was talking about, kind of, branding, your thing. So your first step could be gain a lot of leadership skills, soft skills, the kind of, there are a lot of clubs, social clubs are there. Join and go and social, go and explore. There are a lot of groups who do a lot of good works, a lot of good small assignments. Because the moment you are into the community, see, talking to for a community is something different, but when you go to the community, it's something sort of very different. The lives are totally different, and you cannot change in one day. Okay, nobody can bring a change in one day. It's a time taking process. So you need to have that confidence in your heart that whatever you're doing from your heart. It's very prominent for the people. It's actually making a benefit to the people. The second thing is, the best which I follow till date is, I always volunteer my time with different organizations. The moment you're going and volunteering with different organization, then you can see a lot of, you can learn a lot of things. Each day there is a new learning. So when I was in class 11, so I wrote one line which was like, each date or each say like tomorrow could be a better option for you to grow. So this is something. So there's a lot of scope. So you have to go and look for an opportunity which is nearby to your house. Volunteer. So volunteering is something which can actually help a lot of problems. And take some assignment, be that leader, not the boss. Now the second is what I would like you to focus on is on the expand your creativity. Say how you show the people what you're doing, that's more important. Correct. How you really want to take this up, it's more important. Say suppose if you really inviting say 10 people to come and volunteer to write a story, how you inviting them, which are the stories they really want to, have you done a good research on the people, who are the people who are going to come to you as a volunteer, and whom you will be going to volunteer for. Similarly, so when talking about the kind of the career, there's a lot of scope which I see. Earlier back 10 years back there was not many scope, but then I can see there is a lot of organization who are looking for a potential people within the organization. Why they need? Because they really want to grow their cause. The moment the cause is grown, the moment the organization will grow in that way. So Sujit, I can see that hi Tanveer, well explained. Thank you. Everything would like to meet in person someday. Sure, we would definitely have a coffee sometime and explore more about the kind of a social assignment together. Okay, so again, Purna has said CA Sahab, welcome. Who is the CA here? Okay, so how social underwear changing minds? Yes, it's changing minds because when you say that you are somebody, it's really The first thing, you are changing your mindset. See, talking here and going to the community is totally different. So when you talk about a community and when you go to the community and see the scenario, when you meet the people, it's something you really making your mind in a very different and a positive way. So the first is you changing your mind, and literally when you're doing good for the people, you will see the change. You will see the changes happening in the society. Uh, so um, so I can see a lot of questions. So let please do ask if you have any other query here. So what we can do as a way forward to this, we can organize a kind of a closed meeting or a kind of a closed training where we will I will take you through the kind of the process, the ideas, like from an idea how you can implement. Correct. So let's have a kind of a small session together in sometime in February or March, where we will sit together, we'll do kind of a lot of brainstorming, and I will help you to design your own project in such a way so that see, one-to-one discussion on mentorship is very important, in our day-to-day life. So Aditi says, please expand the fund structure support for social entrepreneurs. The fund structure support is, as I said, like for a project, if you're looking forward to get a project for somebody, so 20% goes for the management, which I do personally follow. So this is the max. In that 20%, there is a lot of incidental costs towards your office, the office expenses, and then you really need to hire somebody to mentor your projects, to monitor your projects, and then you probably need to do a lot of crisis, like so when you say 80% towards the project, towards the people, then it depends on project to project. Correct. So if you can just give me one clarity in what are the projects you really want that fund structures to be in place, so I can help you with some of the examples there, Aditi. So, sir, can you please tell me, is there any internship kind of things available? Yes, if you go to Internshala and if you look for, kind of a pro bono services you can get. If you really would like to volunteer, then definitely you go to www.ivolunteer.in and find volunteering opportunities. And if you're really looking forward to associate as one of an assignment leader, then you can definitely get in touch with me. As you said, we are having a campaign, Speak the Cause, and we need people like you to come and support us. So together we can make a lot of difference in the society. So Prabhat says, yes, I'm planning, sir. Yeah, even I'm planning. So I'm actually looking forward to meeting you. So Aditi, if you can, be little, I hope I'm able to answer your query. If not, then if you can just, elaborate a little more on this so that I can help you with. Any questions or anything you really want to ask? Should I take you to any of the thing, my experiences? So if I really talk about my experience and what really motivates me to be here and be with this social segment, it's something you need to come with your heart. You should be somebody who is very passionate about what you do. So it's there is a saying called, what you do, what you love what you do. So I follow that process, and the people I'm connected with, they are my source of inspiration. So each day I inspire people, at the same time somebody is inspired by me. So it's all about aspirations and inspiration. Again said, sir, checked in Intershala, it wasn't in. Can I contact with you? Yeah, anytime. You can contact me with anytime. And there are a lot of organization. I will connect you, and they're looking for an internships, generally interns. And depending, see, it's always important. Say internship, it's okay, it's fine. Volunteering, it's fine, but then you have to really connect. As I said now, say you really want to do something for the children, but you have went to an organization who work for the youth development, so that doesn't match your expectations. Correct. So you need to do a kind of a good expectations matching before going to somewhere. So when people say that who is a volunteer and what does volunteering stands for, so it is somebody like me who is very passionate about to bring a change in my life. First is my life, and then the people's life. And first you need to do something. Volunteering is something, you need to do something with some of your uh, There is no expectations in financial return when you volunteer, um, but then there are expectations in the form of the kind of the impact you created, the smiles in the people, uh, the happiness in the lives of the people. And it's something which you really want to do it. There's no force here. So if you have any query regarding any internship opportunities or volunteering opportunity, or if you really want me to mentor you for some time, I will be more than happy. I will be more than happy to guide you. And if you're really looking forward to come as a group and support us in our venture, which is Speak the Cause, we would be more than happy to assist you in this. As I said, that we are coming with a lot of events, and we really needs. Why we call this events? Because see, we're not looking forward to get the money, but we are looking forward to get the people on board. When the people are on board, people will contribute either in the form of time, either in the form of skills, or in the form of money. So first, as I said, you need to connect with the people. The moment you say Facebooks, do the best use of the Facebooks. LinkedIn, do the best use of the LinkedIn. Connect with the people. As I said, now you have a page, you know a lot of people, but you have not started a conversation yet. It's the right time. Go and talk about you. The moment you brand yourself, it will really help you to grow in person. So, Prabhat, is there any question from your side, or we are good to go? And I hope this small chat session was helpful for everyone, and I'm able to solve their queries. Meanwhile, after this video, I'm going to try and comment the questions we have once again to the people, and you can always pass on the questions to me, or if any ones would like to connect me personally, then definitely you can in Facebook. You can find me Tanveer Khan, and I'm happy to connect with you. So thank you very much. It was one of the lovely time, and thank you for watching. We'll connect sometime soon in Durgapur. I'm looking forward to meeting you sometime soon. Thank you. Bye.